What's going on, everyone, and welcome back for a new video. This right here is a 200 efficiency fusion, and let's jump straight into it. Now I'm going to go ahead and first of all we're going to go into test and see if this actually works. Now I did forget to put my booster on my... Alright, that's not going to work. There we go. Let me just quickly enable this. Now it should work. I'm not really sure why I did that. Anyways, now it should work, and I quickly just want to test the range of it, and also I made some slaps down there, so we should be able to see if it's slap busting perfectly as well. So let's go ahead and shoot, and let's see what happens. Now this right here, this stone right here, represents 20 chunks. So as you can see, the scatter and everything works perfectly, and if you go underneath, you'll see that it works perfectly right here. Now we are currently on 3 ticks of the hammer, meaning we have the max ticks before it starts to dip too much. So on these ticks right here, you're still able to go through obsidian, but if you add one more tick, you won't be. So just make sure that whenever you cannon obsidian patches or obsidian filters or something related to that, just make sure that you have the ticks necessary. So 3 ticks minimum, or maximum, sorry. Now these ones right here only goes 20 chunks out. I'm pretty sure I only made it 20 chunks out, maybe a little bit more. But the first thing we realized just when we shot these 3 times is that we're almost out of sand. So of course, when we use these sand compressions, which is pretty much made for the semi-auto, we will also see that we won't be able to stack as much sand up because we are getting closer and closer to the sky limit. So we will only be able to shoot 4 times, and then there's going to be a little sand left back. So 4 times maximum without refilling the sand. That's pretty much what we can do. Therefore, it's important that you have your alts printing it in, or else you won't really be able to shoot that many times. So therefore, just remember to have at least 3 alts to stay up here and just print it. Oh, I'm pretty sure you can do it with 2. Pretty sure you can do it in 2. Now the scatter is big enough to go through RB. It should be. It's using 6 TNT, and I'm gonna show that right here. So our scatter is right here. It actually uses 8. All right. So this right here is pretty much all scatter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all those is going to be ticked out at the same time, which is over here. So this right here is pretty much, I'm not really sure, there's like 40, 50 blocks right here, which is pretty decent. And they're all getting ticked at the same time, meaning you should be able to go through RB. But if that's not enough, that's 8 TNT. If the obsidian has a durability of, let's say, 10. There's always the possibility to add this right here. So this right here is pretty much just useless because on some cases I see that this corner dispenser right here as well as the corner one over here sometimes fuck up the cannon. Maybe it shoots the scatter up instead of, yeah, and maybe it doesn't stack. And then sometimes when I have to remove these, it just seems to work. So therefore, I choose not to use them, but you can use them for a scatter. So what I did is that I added 2 full repeaters right here to make this quick scatter, meaning it's not going to make this right here, as you can see, this right there. That's not going to be there on this one right here. So if it happens that you are meeting obsidian with a durability over 8, since our scatter is 8, so if it's 9, I will activate this one and it will one-shot it. Or if you meet water lava walls, I would activate this one, since the scatter is extremely fast and it will go through it. So therefore, it's very handy to have this right here, especially because it's not used as a sand stack, because it's unreliable. So therefore, it's the perfect option to just make it something else. And in my case, I'm just going to make it a scatter. Now, I want to shoot a little bit further, because I want to show you guys that it can shoot the maximum of 23 shots, and it's 150 power each side. Now the 150 power each side doesn't say that you are going to use both sides at once. So you're not going to use 300 TNT to shoot. What you are going to use is you're going to use 150 for 2 parts. So let me see. Alright, so this first right here is the first power. In this one, there will be sand at the wall, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep shooting because we want to go through some walls. So the first thing is the first power, which is this one right here. That one will make this slab bust, and it will make the sand go to the wall. Now let's just quickly imagine that this right here is the wall, and this right here is our barrel height. It's going to put the... How am I going to show that? I need sandstone. So those 2 right there is inside the TNT. So the sand right here is inside the TNT. So just quickly imagine that this one is inside this one. Now that is the first power. That is what it do. It gets the sand and it gets the slab bust over to the wall. Now 2 ticks after, as you can see right here, it's missing 2 ticks. Over here, it's not missing 2 ticks. This will pretty much mean that after 2 ticks, then this second hammer is going to come into play. The second hammer pretty much have whatever we need to stack this down, or whatever we need to scatter it down, whatever we need to, you know. So that will be the hammer, that will be the scatter, that will be the red sand, yes. So, but before that, it's getting shot to the wall. There's going to be a delay of 2 ticks. Now those 2 ticks, if you put it on delay, it will make this sand and this TNT all fall 1 block. So now it's going to be down here instead. So whenever our second power comes in with the hammer and everything, that's going to be right above, right there. And then whenever the hammer explodes, it's going to stack up. It's going to make the scatter blow up and the red sand and everything, and it's going to make a hole, and that is pretty much it. Now, why we choose to alternate it this way, where we have it each side instead of double pulsing, is mainly because we can. If you want to use a fusion this way, you can double pulse it. There's ways to do it. I'm pretty sure I've released my fusions with double pulsing. And the way I did that was just using quick pulses and normal pistons next to each other. But why I did it is because if you wanted to do one side, or if you want to split it up in 2 parts, it would have to be too much TNT. Since that wasn't efficiency fusions, meaning you would need like 250 power each side, which would make the power extremely long, like all the way out here, and then you will have your whatever after. So it will be extremely long. Therefore, we had to double pulse it. Now, with efficiency fusion, we don't have to, because now we have this really cool concept that makes us able to actually split it up in 2 parts and still making it look like a thoroughly new cannon, which is amazing. Looks like we have reached the end right here. 23, 22 chunks right here. Went up to it fine, and now we're experiencing problems at 24 chunks. Now, of course, that doesn't mean the cannon is over. It just means that I choose to cap it at that. We could have added more power. We'll go way further. This right here, just say, okay, we've been through an entire buffer of walls. We are now inside the base. Do we really need more TNT? No, we don't, because we're going to use that amount of TNT for every single wall, and we don't really need it. Now we've managed to get out at full 20 buffer. Now we're 2 chunks into the base. We don't really need it anymore, so therefore I didn't choose to add more power. But if you want to go further, please feel free to add more power. I made it possible to add more power easily by just simply stacking on top of here. That shouldn't be a problem, and you can just go on your way and do whatever. But I think that will be just about it for this video here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and also, if you have any issues with my cannons, like anything whatsoever, please leave a comment down below. I will always like to help people out, and if you experience any problems with my cannons, I would be love to admit it and say I fucked up and release a new schematic if I fucked up. But it's rare that I kind of do. But if I did, please don't be afraid to comment down below. But Again, I think that'll be just about it. I want to thank you guys for watching this video here, and if you enjoyed, remember to like this video here, comment down below for any suggestions, questions, issues, whatsoever, and always guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.